So what stories have you got on this one? You must have some drunken stories. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that, to be honest.
Biggest con of overpriced whiskey is?
A vodka martini. So Sam, take us through the significance of a martini.
The significance of it.
Do you want a second? You can definitely swear on this show, by the way.
Okay, cool.
It's a fucking madman.
Fucking great.
Yeah. And what is a sham? Welcome to Shoot Your Shot, the show where we shoot shots and ask questions. I'm Rob Buckhaven.
And I'm Clara Batten.
Today we are filming at 58 & Co Distillery in East London. Our next guest we have to thank for anyone who's had a WKD stained, blue stained tongue waking up in the morning. I know I have.
I have.
You?
Yeah.
We're all guilty. And there's many other brands aside from that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've actually been responsible for most of Britain's hangovers at one point or another. They're responsible for brands such as Babycham, Bulmers, Teacher's Whiskey, Magners.
Latour, because we all drink that.
Yeah, I do.
Bulmers, we actually do all drink that.
We actually do.
Yeah.
And actually, most recently, Fever Tree.
Oh yeah, Fever Tree as well.
Yeah.
We actually all do drink that.
But that's probably better on a hangover than blaming
not.
it for a hangover.
Anyway, let's get into it.
Let's get into the man himself.
Not like that. It's not that kind of show. Let's drink.
Let's drink.
Okay.
So please welcome to the show,
Sam Showering. Sam, welcome.
Thank you.
To Shoot Your Shot.
Thank you for having me.
Should we just get stuck in?
Yeah, let's
do the first shot.
Why not?
What have we got here? The first one is
Babycham.
Babycham.
He's already sipping it. You're
Okay,
meant to
let's
shoot
do it.
it.
Well, to shoot it, shoot it,
That
yeah.
we'll have to shoot it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shoot
it's
your
It's called
shot.
shoot your shot. Oh,
It's not sip your shot.
Oh, it's refreshing.
Have you ever had it as a shot?
No, I haven't actually.
First time.
No.
Yeah,
I've maybe
weird.
downed a whole bottle by itself before, but no,
Okay.
never just a shot. It
No.
seems it's too
It's
light.
like all or nothing.
4% shot is kind of
Yeah, it's
Well, here it's
Yeah,
just to
you
sort
know.
of get you into the
Yeah.
spirit.
not a point.
So what is Babycham? Because it is so iconic. But do people know actually what it is?
well, the liquid's a perry. So it's pears and apples, fermented pears and apples. I suppose the sort of USP difference would be, they made it in a similar way to champagne with a closed cuvee process. So the CO2 that's produced by the yeast is what carbonates it. I don't think that's probably true anymore. It's probably a little bit changed the process from us not owning it from the glory days. But I think the family are planning on changing that and
Because
You've
bring
just
it,
brought
bring
it
it
back.
back.
You've just brought it back, haven't you?
The
brand?
royal we, not
Yeah.
me, but
So
my dad and
your
his brothers
family,
brought
yeah.
it back. Yeah, they brought it back a couple of years ago, and they're just in their planning mode, rebranding.
And when
trying
did
to
it
bring it back.
first come out? I remember it being around in the 80s, and my parents.
First
Yeah.
come out, I think it's
And
got to be the
grandparents.
50s. I actually don't know the date. Actually, it's got to be the 50s.
Wow.
But the royal we again. My family, my ancestors used to make sparkling perry
Yeah.
in champagne bottles. So it had a proper cork
Oh,
and all the
wow.
stuff, and they had normal sized bottles, much like that champagne bottle. They had medium sized bottles, and then really miniature little sized bottles. And the lorry drivers used to come past and pick it up and go, "We'll have 2 large shams, 2 medium shams, and 3 pallets of baby shams." So it's actually the lorry drivers actually
Oh.
nicknamed it before it was ever branded Babycham.
And what is a sham?
Awesome.
Well, I suppose it's champagne,
Oh,
sham, and I
I've
think
never connected that.
Nor have I.
well,
That's
Or
what-
the
yeah.
fact that baby meant a smaller bottle. I thought there weren't whatever
it was 4
bottle you got.
babies.
Yeah,
You're
just say
like,
you fed it to babies.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that not right?
But it worked back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Let's bring
stopped
it back.
crying.
it used to have sparkling pear champagne on the bottle, which obviously, as you can imagine, we got horribly sued by champagne much later. But the damage was done and the brand was built at that point, so it's probably a little bit unfair of how that all worked out on our
love
side.
that story.
Brilliant.
But yes, we were in
I
the
love being
naughty.
sued by champagne, the area.
Yeah, we
The
were on the
area
naughty
of-
step. Yeah, we were
yeah,
on the
the
naughty step
location.
of champagne for a while.
You're like, we were
Yeah.
sued by a location.
Yeah, exactly. We did. We did get sued by a location.
Oh, I love
Oh, I
that story
love it.
though. But and also, I'm all behind a pear cider, for example. What's the difference
You love it.
between a pear It
Perry,
might be
a perry and a
obvious.
cider.
Yeah, a perry and a cider, basically. It's
Well, yeah, one's
sparkling.
pears and one's apples.
So what about?
So you're just putting
So you-
yeast in, and it's just fermenting the sugar,
Yeah.
turning it into alcohol, and then you have a kind of, so it is like champagne.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of the nuanced differences that you do to have a mass marketed product is we added a little bit of sugar. I think especially in the sort of 60s and things, a bit of sweetener as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was very, very sweet, but a really small volume. And the bottle there, that's a 200 ml bottle. The bottles that back in the day were half that size.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, half. They're
what?
miniature, absolutely miniature.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So it was like a shot.
yeah, it truly was. It was two of these glasses and you're done.
That's great.
In fact, we're about to drink nearly a
There
whole
we
bottle of the
go.
old Babycham in these 2
Well,
shots.
we've drunk a whole
That's
bottle
it.
already.
Yeah, you drunk.
So
Yeah.
what's with the logo? Because that's so iconic, isn't it? The
Oh God. Okay, we'll
the
get we'll,
Bambi.
we'll get into it. So 3 generations ago, my family would have spoken with such thick Wurzel accents, Somerset accents, you wouldn't understand them. But
So
they had this.
Wurzel?
Yeah, Somerset
Yeah.
accents.
Wurzel, as in, why Wurzel?
That's what they call them, Wurzel accents.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Like
is
a
that
Wurzel.
gummidge?
Like a Wurzel. Yeah.
Oh.
So they had this amazing business selling sparkling perry in champagne bottles, which would have been like pre-Cava, pre-Prosecco. It was the working class champagne of the nation, I guess. And they had a good business there. And they went over, they thought, well, let's try and brand this Babycham product, the ones that the lorry drivers are calling Babycham. It's obviously taking off. They like this single serve stuff. So they took their cars, they actually went in Rolls Royces to Soho. They got out I think they went to get out to meet someone at Saatchi. They get off at the wrong floor in the elevator. They meet a guy called Jack Wynne Williams who wasn't expecting them. They're the wrong business. And he just winged it and said, come with me, fellas, I've got a plan. Spins the whole branding of Babycham and what they should do. And they just go, if you can do that, then we'll buy you a Rolls Royce. And he was like, you're game on. And then surely enough, the whole plan came together and they bought him a Rolls Royce. And Jack Wynne Williams and my family did this amazing marketing and sales. It was really quite an incredible.
that is
Feature. So
wicked.
that's where the branding really came from.
Wow.
Some random dude on the third floor of Saatchi.
They just went to the wrong place. That's incredible.
No, that's
Okay, well,
so we have
we got
finished.
another one. This is just
We
refilled
finished
itself.
that, right?
Okay, so cheers.
That's director saying next one. Right, what's next?
Okay, next we've got IPA. We've got an IPA from Prime Time, who is one of the guys from Made in Chelsea, I believe. But why did you pick? Well, let's drink it first. Let's drink it.
Let's
Cheers,
drink it.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers. Cheers.
We're starting you easy.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I need another one.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's
good.
quite floral.
I feel
it's
immediately refreshed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
very
really
floral.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these guys at Prime Time. They've got a caffeinated version.
What does it taste like?
Really?
It tastes just the same. It just gives you a bit more of a buzz, I guess.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
You're basically just saying it tastes like beer with caffeine in it.
it is. But that's
Because
exactly what it is.
I quite often choose a drink so that I can have like halfway through the night I'll have a vodka or rum with Diet Coke because I want the caffeine.
Yeah.
Because I think, oh, if it's going to be a long
Yeah.
night
Yeah,
or we're
yeah.
out, I want a bit of caffeine to. And
Yeah.
if I'm drinking wine or beer or cider, I'm
Or gin. It's
yeah,
like
I'm
such
going
a
to
downer.
end up being ugh.
I know.
But
true.
caffeine, yeah, caffeine
Caffeinated beer. I mean, I would like something. I mean, espresso martinis, a little bit of level.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
If
you're
it's
gonna
something
do
like
it,
that, I want to taste
If you're going to do
whatever it is.
properly.
And why did you pick IPA?
I just think going to the pub has become more of a go-to. It's got more of that bitter taste. I think
Yeah.
as our kind of
Yeah.
taste buds have evolved, or mine have, very, very slowly.
Yeah.
I've got from loving Haribo to this. Basically, I think that IPA
From
bitter
loving
taste.
this
Yeah,
to
exactly.
this.
To that. Yeah, I haven't gone very far. But,
But I've
yeah,
gone.
but that bitter taste of IPA is now for me. It's a bit of me.
so
Yeah.
nice.
And
You,
you can-
know what? I've not had that in ages,
Oh,
like
it's
an
lovely.
You
IPA.
can session on it. You can
Yeah.
really. They call it session IPA, and
Is it
they're
four-
absolutely right. You can session on that.
It's
And you can do.
4.2. So it's really, yeah. And it is very crisp. It probably needs to be more chilled than this, but
Yeah.
as you say, floral.
It's
got that
floral.
lovely
It's
floral.
got, but weirdly, it's got almost that floral taste that like Leffy has, or
Yes.
like, do you know what I
or
mean?
Whole Garden.
Yeah, Hogarden.
Hogarden. Or a whole garden with loads of flowers. In it.
Yeah,
Why
it
they
does
call
sound
it whole garden?
floral, like a whole garden.
Yeah.
And-
So what stories have you got on this one? You must have some drunken stories. Away
I
from
mean,
your...
probably. I mean, I probably do, but I probably
Probably
do,
do, but-
if I could remember them all. But
but I'm not going to be telling you any of
But
them.
no, the last time I had a really good stab at some IPAs, we went
Oh my
to
God, you stabbed some.
yeah, I had a really good stab at them. I went with some friends to. They do this thing like cold and hot therapy. You have an ice bath, then a sauna, ice bath, then a sauna.
Oh, yeah.
I came out feeling like $1 million.
Oh, did you?
We went to the pub across the road, and we all sank like 6 or 7 pints, and we felt fine. There's just something about whatever we did. Could be a placebo, by the way.
Yeah.
Not advocating that it's going to keep you sober or anything, but it was
Yeah.
just and felt fine the next.
Or that you should drink 6 or 7 pints.
Yeah, and the next
Right.
day I was as fresh as a daisy.
Really?
Yeah, fresh as a
Really?
daisy. Yeah.
So just because
it was
of
like
that
a
hot
test.
Oh, really?
But I also think that beer, full stop, if you would stick to beer and have a session on beer, you're not going to have the worst hangover on the whole, are you?
That's
No,
true.
but I find
That's
at the
true.
time I always avoid beer because it makes me bloated. It makes me, I don't know, a bit sluggish.
You have to
I don't
drink
know,
a
and I
lot
just
in
think-
volume to feel a bit pissed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you just feel a bit sluggish and like, oh, can I face another one? You know, but something like this I can do because it's fresh and it's
Yeah, you're technically
It's really-
hydrating yourself almost.
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of your 5 a day.
Exactly.
yeah, and one of your
Again, not trying to make
floral a day.
this one of your whole
dunno.
garden a day. So
Well-
do you know these guys then? Do you know the
I
Maiden
have,
Chelsea?
I've met them actually.
Right.
And they're really good guys, and they're winning more and more business actually. So because not had a chance to explain, but I've got a little platform where venues host their tenders with us and brands bid. And they won a fantastic deal with actually David Lloyd Leisure.
Oh, as in the
So
gyms.
the gyms, not just gyms, they do 1 million pints a year there.
What?
It's fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Do they
It's
have bars there as
fantastic.
well?
Yeah,
where you're working out?
They do. I mean, just imagine going for a big game of tennis, game of outdoor tennis at your local David Lloyd, and then coming and sitting down and having a frosty cold
Yeah,
Oh,
beer with your
because
opponent.
because they're
Isn't that
also
nice?
like they're also like country estates
Yeah.
now as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Like they're proper like
what,
David
David
Lloyd
Lloyd?
hotels and
Oh, they do
Aren't they?
hotels
I mean,
as well.
don't get me wrong. They're
It's
health,
gyms.
They're health
Yeah.
and fitness oriented.
yeah.
First.
Disclaimer.
They're not bars.
Yeah.
And they've got an array of healthy stuff to order. But as far as having a beer, there's nothing like having a really hard session, squash,
Yeah.
paddle, or pickleball or something, and then
Just-
Anything else weirder that you want to pluck out of the sky?
Okay.
So
Wonder what this one can be.
yeah, what could this one
What
be?
could this be? Is this
Um,
tequila?
the black
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
What's the story
It's
behind
Guinness.
this,
Okay,
and
so
why
we got
did you
Guinness.
choose it?
Well,
Cheers.
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 It's an easy choice.
Yeah. Do you have a shot of Guinness?
These shots are just like teasers. I feel you're teasing me.
Yeah.
Just need a
You feel
pint.
cheated?
I feel totally cheated.
Yeah.
Oh, these
Um,
are don't worry. Rob,
I'll do another one.
I poured out
Oh,
really bad
thank God.
ones.
also, Sam's about
Mm.
6'5", and so he's literally this is like
just slips
this is
down.
like a little
Yeah, I know.
drop
It
to him.
slips down.
Have you had cocktails with Guinness, by the way? Have you had the black
No,
velvet?
that seems like some form of adultery I wouldn't abide by.
Yeah.
There's a Paddy's
think-
Day one, black velvet, which, and I'm going to butcher the story because I don't know what goes into it, but I do know this is in it, and I think it's something like sparkling wine and something else.
It's actually supposed to be Perry again. I used to do it at Babycham as well. Babycham Guinness, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, anyway, but that's
And
a
then
different story.
there's also
Different story.
the loads of people have Guinness with a dash of blackcurrant, don't they? Because
Yeah, niche. I don't know why.
they do it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of uni
They're an edge
people do
case.
that.
They're an edge
yeah.
case. Well, I just want to say that I liked Guinness before it was cool,
Yeah.
long before it was cool, and
But again, I like that like bitter, like you get with a
Oh,
bitter beer.
I love it. Well, for me, it is the connection with Twickenham. It's an occasional thing. I'm not really hoofing Guinness all over town. I like to at Twickenham.
There's a time
is
and a
the only
place.
thing.
And what's your rugby connection? Have you, do you just
Yeah.
like it, or have you
No,
played it a lot?
I did used to play actually. I did used to play. To a good level, goodish level.
Go on.
No, I played for Gloucester once in the Premiership
Wow.
Sevens and the World Club Sevens. Played for them a couple of times.
What
actually.
position?
I played for rugby sevens as
Okay.
a prop. I played prop.
Oh,
for them.
You're like, oh, good. I've
Oh,
no idea what you just
That
said.
sounds good. No, I used to play it at school. I was made to play it at school.
I have no idea what a prop is.
Yeah.
But great stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And do you play it sort of recreationally now, or?
Do you know what? I play touch rugby once a week. just
Oh,
for
I
fun.
love that.
It's essentially old guys and children that play, so it's a little bit of a confidence
Nice.
boost that I haven't totally.
You're like knocking them all over.
Sling a 20-metre pass past a 12-year-old and be like, yeah.
There's all these people on the
Yeah.
floor.
Give me a pint of Guinness.
Yeah,
You're like, give me a pint of
exactly.
Guinness.
You're actually
exactly.
holding a shot of Guinness while you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the Guinness thing at Twickenham, I'm guessing it's like most other Guinnesses in London. But have you been to Ireland and had a proper Guinness?
I have not. But
Seriously,
I have not.
it
But it's
tasted. My brothers made me have Guinness in every pub, like that we went to in the week, sort of leading up to going to Ireland, purely so that I would taste what Guinness was like here and remember it. And then we went over there, and it was completely different. And
how?
Oh my goodness! Like literally, I didn't drink anything else. I was only about 16, and all I drank out there was Guinness while I was.
But what
in
to
Ireland.
describe the difference?
So it tasted thicker and creamier, slightly, but
Mm.
didn't feel heavy. Didn't feel like, oh, it's so much
It's a good
heavier,
sign.
and it just felt
just smooth, isn't it? Because it's. Have you been to the
smoother.
pub, the Devonshire?
Oh yeah, it's right next to Diageo head office. So obviously all the reps are in there just company carding Guinness.
but it's good to have the best Guinness in London.
Well, of course it would be. You'd hope so.
Yeah, because it's. But you know why? Because I asked, is it O'Sheen?
Yeah, because it's next to Diageo, who
so it's
owns
the guy,
it.
but it's the guy, and I said, what makes it the best? And he goes, because we constantly clean out the lines. That's what we do. Because when it stagnates there, when you're not having an occasional one, it stagnates, and you're not. It's it's getting a bit sort of
big thing.
Yeah. So he goes, it's always fresh, and it's always, and then they chill it down massively. So that's the
well,
two.
it is the case that it won't just be the same. I joked when I said the same across London, because seriously, even like Harvey's, my brothers love Harvey's Pale Ale. When they go to one, I can't believe they do it in London now. They'll have one in one place, and the next place, like, God, that's not a good pint. They're like,
really?
Not a good pint. Yeah, so it is different in different places.
Well, we have to mention Guinness Zero, because it is. If you've tried it, it's very, very similar. You've got to be quite discerning to know the difference between a pint of Guinness and a Guinness Zero. But they've now got a section at Twickenham, which is like a Guinness Zero stand, where you can only buy non-alcoholic drinks. You can't buy alcoholic drinks.
Have you ever been?
Fuck no.
Yeah, you're like.
Why would I do that?
Why are you picking it up then?
Imagine.
You're like by accident.
Yeah, imagine having to raw dog a Six Nations game. No Guinness.
Raw dog.
It'd be terrible. But anyway, each
that.
their own. Some people obviously do it, but if you got tricked
good,
out into the Guinness Zero stand, you'd be pretty depressed.
But it's good. It's good also that it does taste similar. That's a really good, because
Yeah.
some of them really don't.
And you know what? Most people who come to our house when we have quite a few parties at our house, like big summer parties. If people come who are just going to have one or two glasses of champagne, then move on to, we always get non-alcoholic beer in. The amount of people who bring Guinness Zero as their drink that they're going to move on to as zero alcohol. It's incredible. Like Pip's.
You're like, they bring it along and none of them drink it. They all drink our stuff that we buy.
And then drink dry.
And we're left with all the Guinness Zero.
but like Pip's fiance, he always, if he's not drinking, he always brings for it. And he's like, do you have any Guinness Zero in, or should I bring some? I'm like, all right. No, I don't.
You're like, yeah, I've got loads actually, because that's all anyone brings.
No, great chat. Bye.
Yeah, don't. Oh, we've cancelled. Okay, so now, I mean, what could this be? This is so iconic. WKD Blue. Cheers. Let's just get into it.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
I know.
For many reasons.
Cheers.
It's stories
we're about to find out.
and everything. Taste.
So first of all, wow. Like, you really get that raspberry, don't you?
Yeah,
that sweet raspberry. Who knows? Is it meant to be?
Who knows?
It is. It's blue raspberry.
It is. It's like Haribo raspberries. Yeah.
No, that tastes like a blue raspberry slush puppy, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was supposed to have a flavour back in the day. I think it might be.
Oh, really? Is that morphed into?
I guess so.
So how did it work with? Because I know your family were behind this in some way.
Manufacturers.
Yeah, we're
manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
And how did that come about?
So a guy called Joe Woods who the late Joe was. He died not that long ago now.
Keep it light.
Yeah, sad. But no, they used to have
Rest in peace.
absolutely ripping Christmas parties, by the way. The team
Right.
there were just absolute animals back in the day. Animals.
Right.
And he came to the factory and said, look, got this idea, want to do this thing, want to call it Wicked. It needs to be caffeinated, light blue. I mean, it's really groundbreaking, very, very evolutionary stuff for the drinks industry to do something like that. They said, cool, what do you want to do? A couple of test pallets, get them off the line. He said, no, we'll do like 100 pallets. And it's starting out, you got to be like, this guy's a freaking madman.
Yeah.
And he did, and he had this sort of model.
You can definitely swear on this show, by the way.
Okay, cool.
He's a fucking madman.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Well,
Fucking awesome, that is.
What a...
Yeah, you fucker.
So he,
Sorry, you have to swear on this
yes,
show.
he had this epic strategy of just sending tons of stock. This is back in the heyday of like Luminar Leisure, Oceana, all the big nightclubs, big capacity nightclubs, thousands of people in them, and the bars 30 people deep, and everyone asking like 2 vodka soda, 1 Tia Maria and Coke or whatever the freaking thing was in the 90s then, and then somebody would go, well, actually, there's an ice bucket on the bar with condensation dripping down it, with just a ton of those blue bottles in with a light shining on it.
Right.
And everyone goes, don't know what that is, but that looks like I'm
like
going to
it.
get it in the next 15 seconds.
But
if
was
order
it
3 of
free, are
them.
you saying?
It wasn't free.
No.
They gave it to the bars for free to sell.
Ah.
So it just
So it's
filled
just this
all the nightclubs.
luminous thing that they
Luminous
saw,
thing on
like,
the bar.
what is
Yeah.
that?
And then the natural evolution.
When he gave it to the bar, would he be the one to say, look, I'll give it for free as long as you put it on the bar? Was that his
Pretty much,
proviso?
yeah. Put
Really
it
good
in my
strategy.
branded ice buckets on the bar. They had loads of guerrilla tactics for marketing. They used to get stencils outside the clubs, put them on the floor, and then high pressure hose the WKD logo into the floor. And of course, it's not graffiti; it's cleaning. So they did that, and then eventually the council got wise to it and told them to stop doing it. But their adverts were amazing on TV. They advertised heavily, and obviously when they were just chucking out so much free stock, their unit economics and economies of scale came right the way down because they were just piling stuff through the factory. So they were making it really cheap, selling it at a really decent cost. You pay good money for a WKD Blue back in the day. You wouldn't think about it, but you would have done.
And how's it made?
In the factory, I used to make it actually.
And what are the ingredients? How do you do it? Tell us all
My
about
hands would
it.
look like a Smurfs. They come out blue. I'm not joking. They really would do.
Let's see your tongue.
We'd be doing with the concentrated stuff. No, it's too early.
haven't had enough.
Too early.
Yeah,
doors.
have more. We've got a whole
enough.
bottle. But
some
take
more.
us through, because it's obviously a trade secret, but you're going to break it on this show, aren't you?
Actually, I don't necessarily know the compound. The compounds come in.
Hang on, you'd made it in the factory. You just
We
said.
do. But some of the, so how these things work is often some of the flavors come from flavor houses which specialize in this type of stuff, which we'll have affiliations with, and they'll send us a compound ready to go that needs less work. Otherwise, you're putting in 100 different ingredients. You want the least amount of ingredients for the manufacturer. So you used to get this blue compound come in, which would stain your hands absolutely bright blue for a week if you touch it. And you'd also get to put in caffeine, which you'd need a cup the size of a teacup to do a 50,000 litre batch of WKD.
Wow.
It's tiny. It looks like cocaine. It's like white powder. And actually, funny story.
It's super concentrated.
Lead guy in the tank house, he dropped
But what was that stuff? Sorry.
Caffeine. You put a scoop of caffeine in there. Blue compound.
It sounds like cocaine.
Couple of
That's
bags.
what he said.
Couple of 25.
But no, I was also reading this. I didn't realise it was vodka. Genuinely.
So,
I had no
carry on.
idea.
Put a couple of 25 kilo bags of citric acid. You just hold it over the tank, cut up the Stanley knife, chuck it in. You're literally making a Haribo, really. It's like sugar, citric, bit of vodka, some colouring.
So you absolutely, yeah. I don't think I knew it was vodka either.
No, I thought it was just like tiny bit of pure alcohol with a lot of crap.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of crack.
Well, hats off. Hats off to SHS. Sorry if I've got to stop, but
But I'd like to just quickly say, because wasn't there some scandal about other RTDs as well, but you guys or WKD didn't do what you're about to say?
absolutely. So
Carry on while I open this.
So
anyway.
so throughout the 90s, early 2000s, HMRC would attack. It was told to be marketed at children. It was detrimental to adolescents.
Children.
All this sort of stuff. Yeah, it was
Like
a
vaping,
lightly
really,
coloured
in a
blue
way.
colour.
Yeah.
It was humorous. It was raspberry flavour or fruit flavour, which was more synonymous with sweets. So there's a lot of bad press about alcohol. So the government decided to tax them to death. but they taxed anything with a vodka-based RTD or a spirit-based RTDs. So some of the cheaper RTDs used to ferment apples or ferment rice or ferment anything, bring it up to 51% of fruit-based fermented base,
Right.
and then put 49% neutral grain spirit in there and go, oh, it's a vodka.
Oh, I see.
It's a vodka-based RTD, but it wasn't. It was just a cheap knockoff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
WKD, hats off to them. They stuck true to the
crap
nature, and they've always stuck with vodka in there. So hence why you
brilliant.
pay a little bit.
No,
more
it
for the
is
So they
premium,
were
but it's
taxed.
And
better.
also-
So what were the other ones that did that? Can you name and chain?
Yeah, I think VK would probably be definitely one of them.
VK, because
but
they're
then
in my
those-
offie. They're in.
yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Fucking VK.
Yeah,
But
fucking
you know,
arsehole.
Get it, but we still
VK,
wanted to.
I've never
we
liked
want
VK.
sponsorship. Yeah.
But we forget, like,
Okay.
if you think of like Smirnoff Ice, you'd order that in a Hilton hotel back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, it's just
But this
nowhere to be
says
seen.
triple distilled. So this one, shampoos.
I can tell you a little bit about this one. Can we
Yeah.
clink?
Clink.
Cheers.
Cheers. Shooting champers. Look at that. Look what Sam's done to us.
This is one of the top champagne houses in existence. So this is Pommery, and this is their
Too
appanage.
busy.
So Madame Pommery, it's always the women actually who are the trailblazers. So Madame Pommery, you know the Brut style of champagne or sparkling, which is the dry style. Up until sort of 1874, everyone was drinking really sort of sweet styles, but she was like, no, I'm going to change all this. She was the first person to come up with the Brut style. Every champagne house says that they discovered the Brut, but she actually did. And then it took off from there. So she discovered the dry style of drinking champagne. So kind of like that's how we drink it today.
I know this. Well, that was actually fascinating. I know it sounds like I'm being
you couldn't
sarcastic.
sound less fascinated
I
if
know
you
it
tried.
sounds like I'm being really sarcastic.
You're like, wow, that is fascinating. Do you have any
Wow.
more of those stories?
Tell me more about that. No, what I was going to say is I do like champagne and I do love champagne, but I think it's more about occasion than loving the flavour of a dry champagne particularly. I think the sort of medium champagnes, I
Sweeter, you
slightly
mean?
prefer, yeah, but not sweet, because I hate anything
So
sweet
do you prefer
wine.
Prosecco?
But even Carver, I
That's
really like.
bone dry though.
But no, you can get some which aren't. But I like, I like Prosecco and Carver and Champagne. But what I'm saying is the really dry ones, I'm not a massive.
Really?
Maybe you like vintage.
I think
Vintage gets a bit sweeter.
Yeah, I think also I love champagne for what not because it's posh, but because I relate it to things that I go to, like weddings and lovely events, and
It's
I
a
love
decadence,
and
there's
I
decadence
love
of
the
it.
flavour when I'm having a canapé and I think, and
That's
then
that's where I think you're going wrong though. I think you just got to get up on a Wednesday morning and just go, let's have a fucking glass of champagne.
that's just
Yeah,
but
and then-
actually,
when
at
you'll
Christmas,
change your mindset.
But aren't they called
Yeah.
Champagne
You know, don't-
Wednesdays?
Yeah,
Yeah,
should be.
for a reason.
It's champagne breakfast.
champagne mornings.
breakfast.
Yeah,
yeah.
champagne mornings. Yeah.
I think there's not enough occasions in morning drinking. There's not really.
Yeah, there's
I agree,
not,
like
there's not
brunches-
enough
brunches.
events going on apart from this one, which starts at 10.
We should normalise it.
What's your reason for choosing champagne?
I have it with my wife all the time. Beautiful wife, Jem. We love drinking champagne together. We put
standard,
glasses.
just like, darling, sod it, it's Thursday.
So we started getting carafes. We did get the half bottles of Paul Roger, the little half ones. And then we realised we drink one each, and we're like, that's a whole
a
bottle,
bottle.
so it's just the same
But
thing.
it makes you
So-
feel better.
Yeah, I know, exactly. We're like, only the carafe, but a carafe
Yeah.
each. And then we're
Yeah,
like, well,
only the craft.
go
One
back
for
to
you
the
as
big
well.
bottle, yeah.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah, get me one while you're in
But
there.
wasn't that Winston Churchill's thing? He loved that half, the half.
Well, that's how they made them then. Before the
Yes,
metric
Paul
system
Roger.
of 750 ml,
Yeah.
it used to be pints. And I think a pint of champagne is perfect. If I could drink a pint of champagne,
But it's a pint
Perfect.
is 56 millilitres, isn't it? Sorry, centilitres.
what is it? 568 ml or something? No,
Yeah, it's
468 ml or
I
something.
remember in Sussex they did the Sussex pint, which is 50 centilitres.
Yeah.
Because it was banned. Having a pint was banned
What,
in
a pint of
Europe.
anything?
No,
Or
pint
pint
of
of
champagne
champagne?
or sparkling wine. That measure was only 75 cl. and or the tiny one,
Because
or
the
the
metric,
tiny.
is it? Surely it's the metric system that.
It was the
did away with
metric
that.
system, and now we're out of the EU. You can actually do it, so you can
We
do
should
what you want.
bring pints back.
Yeah,
Just
I
a single
agree.
serve pint of
Yeah, but
champagne,
only,
please.
but only for champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how did you and Jem meet? What's the story behind that?
It's a long story. I don't think we've got time for it. But
Okay, we'll make it quick.
I met.
Well,
through
you
some-
can do it while I'm making the.
Yeah. we
I
can-
met through some mates, and actually, it was the last day of lockdown. It was the last day of lockdown, and all the bars were getting rammed. No, we'd sort of brushed shoulders before amongst our friends. We met through friends before.
I remember the date. Pubs opened 6th of April.
It's the last day they were open, so it was like the last day.
Oh, in March.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
right.
So
yeah.
it's the last
March
day they were open.
22nd or something.
So I had this like one shot, literally shooting my shot to try and before the lockdown started.
Oh, wow.
And because I was out selling and you know always doing my drink stuff, I managed to get space at Annabelle's because I thought it was fancy and you know she might like that as a first date. I didn't really know. I was just taking a freaking gamble, and it was totally packed. Queue down the road,
Whoa.
and the only seats they said they had available were ones at the bar, and if you didn't have a seat, you had to get out. So I went up to the bar. I just spoke to these two guys.
Because of COVID. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
because I went up to two guys at the bar. I was like, "Look, I'm on honesty street here. I've got a date coming. I've told her it's legit to come here. Can I buy you a drink and give you guys take the seats?" They said, "Oh, you need to buy me a drink, but she better be good looking." And I was like, "Okay, no, she is. Don't worry about it."
Don't
She
worry. They're
eventually
like,
comes
okay, we're
in, and
not.
I'm like the only person with a seat, you know, in Annabelle's, and she comes in, and the guys behind me with the drinks just looked at me and was like, nodded, and I was like, yes.
That couldn't have been cooler.
Because imagine
you-
if she wasn't good looking, he'd be like, you know.
Yeah.
Shakes his
Yeah,
head, but he was
yeah.
like, nice.
He's like, out
you know,
you get.
So that's what
Oh,
I knew.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
our, that's
It was
our
like,
first
you weren't
episode.
lying,
really
you weren't
cool.
lying.
Yeah, and we shared a bottle of champagne that night. Yeah.
Which champagne is your go-to?
That was the House Annabelle champagne. 'Cause they
Right.
got quite a good deal on quite a good champagne there.
Yeah.
But
Paul-
usually it's
Paul Roger
Paul
Brut.
Roger.
Paul Roger Brut
Yeah.
is our.
Okay, nice. So the white label. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Wow.
Okay, well,
Don't you also like drinking this in the bar?
Yeah, I do.
That's it.
I have it at
How
any
do you
That's what we
know?
got.
How do you
Don't-
know, Rob?
That's
Honestly,
it.
I will 100% have it in the morning. I've got no
Oh
qualms
yeah,
about that.
but the thing is, when you said that over the kids' Christmas holidays, I would have a glass of champagne most mornings. So
I love the way you're like, I don't really like it outside these
yeah,
big occasions,
yeah.
like being in the bath.
in the morning during Christmas
You
holidays.
don't need to wait for an occasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before watching Back to the Future with my kids on a Sunday.
Okay, cheers, guys.
What is
This is
this?
leaning into summer. We've got moth pina colada.
Oh,
I love a pina colada. Do you know what? I can't remember the last time I had a pina colada.
Oh, good choice.
It's the closest thing you'll get to like a meal replacement, but an alcoholic drink. You know what I mean? It's like a slim fast, but alcoholic.
Without the slimming bit.
Yeah, if you're on
Yeah, 'cause
holiday,
you've got 2 of your 5 a day and the coconut and pineapple.
if you're on holiday and you woke up too late to get the all-inclusive breakfast, you
It's
order
like
a
a
pina
beach
colada.
breakfast.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a beach breakfast.
I think moth cocktails are not, we're not sponsored yet by them.
But we will be.
They are the closest things to bar-ready cocktails I've ever
fantastic.
come in a can.
Fantastic company.
I've come to.
Yeah.
They are. This is amazing. This has got chunks of pineapple in it.
Yeah,
I
I would
think
like
this
a bit
is-
of coconut cream in there. I like the
creamy
sweet.
You like the
creamy bit, but not saying that
They've
this
got
is still
the-
excellent.
this obviously-
still absolutely.
This
yeah,
is
this
more
obviously
pineapple, isn't it?
no,
yeah, the
coconut
water.
water.
This is
Which I
almost
like,
slightly
so
too
it's-
healthy for me.
It's
It's
a
almost
bit
one of your
healthy.
5 a
It's like
day.
you're not drinking it to stay in shape. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
Why have you put a cube in this?
because then it's cocktail.
Oh, yeah. So why have you chosen this? Have you got a bit of a sweet tooth?
Right,
I've got a
we're done with that.
terrible- Yeah, done with that. Sorry.
You just destroyed the branding.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, just on holidays, I love it. I've got a horrible sweet tooth. I can't help it. I love puddings. I like sweet, sweet drinks. And on holiday, hot sun, big load of crushed ice in one of those big.
Yes.
I don't know what all the glasses are called. It kind of looks
They
like
go
Like
like
balloon
that.
glasses,
Yeah.
like the
No,
balloon
No, they
ones.
go out and then back in, then out
yeah,
again.
What's that?
And then, but they're always on holiday. The long
Yeah, the
weird
glasses
are
always on
papers.
holiday.
And then even a winner if you get
So I can
the
never find them.
sweet cherry, the maraschino cherry on top. That's
Yes.
even a bonus.
Oh.
That's a bonus as well.
Yeah.
love
Sometimes
it.
if you're in a
So
really
tropical.
shit all-inclusive, some squirty cream.
I'd take that actually.
I'll
I'd
take it all
that
day
too.
long.
I'd take that.
So I really like this actually. For me, I think the coconut water works because I like the I really like that kind of, because otherwise I find it is like
No,
too
I know what you mean. I was sort of pleasantly surprised by that because it felt lighter and more like you've got the
Tropical.
tropical pina colada flavor, but it's like a lighter cocktail
exactly
rather than a heavy.
not
But
heavy,
the
creamy.
reason why it's nice on holiday is because they whiz it up with all the crushed ice, and
Yeah,
it makes it into like a smoothie. So that's what it's the
Yeah.
ice. You've got so much ice that the cream is inconsequential because the ice is watery anyway. So
Inconsequential, that's a big word for
I know for shot
six
six.
shot.
Consequential. Should we leave a description of the word in the comments?
Yeah, I know. So slow gin, I love this. Sorry. So anyway, what's the story behind this, Sam?
Are you fucking joking?
I wish
That
you
was,
were.
there you go. I just did another
wish
one.
you were.
I don't know. I just know
Oh my god, you really.
Well,
And
actually,
the Oscar goes to.
no. I actually used to make slow gin with my dad. We used to walk down, pick all the slow berries and things, and then chuck it in a bottle, put an inordinate amount of sugar in, and it's just a nice, tasty, sweet drink. I've got a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
You know,
I just took a sip, and we're meant to be doing a shot.
oh, cheat.
Cheers, cheers,
Cheers.
cheers.
But you did say that you had a story behind this. So what was?
Well, actually, a great friend of mine, who I founded Padrino with, yeah.
Hell,
Can
what's
I say
Padrino?
it? Can I say it?
Yes, yeah,
Padrino,
absolutely.
Padrino
Yeah.
Spritz was a spritz brand we started. Little
With
200 ml
sherry?
bottle with sherry. Yeah, we did a
Yes.
sherry and tonic, a vermouth and
Yeah.
tonic, port and
I was
tonic.
sent some via PR.
Were you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I wrote about it in Metro.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, mate.
You meant to go, yeah, I love
Appreciate
that.
that. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we were driving to a friend's house, and I said, "Oh, let's get a bottle of slow gin, from the house that we'd made like a couple of years ago because it needs to be drunk." And then halfway there, we were like, "Should we try it?" And we sort of got through it on the way to our mate's house.
And it's strong.
It's
like,
just so
that is
tasty.
strong.
It's just so moreish.
It is.
Yeah.
It tastes almost
Yeah.
like sweets.
It's almost
Again,
like I
but-
think
but
after a
alcoholic
few it would
ones.
be too sweet for me, but
Yeah.
I can see the appeal. I think it's luscious, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I think it's quite unique, and I don't think
Yeah.
it was something I'd order regularly, but in my mind it's there. And if I'm raiding the larder, I'll be, I'll definitely.
All the drinks cabinet.
If I'm raiding the pantry.
If I'm raiding the
Yeah.
pantry, I'll probably make some porridge.
If Nanny lets me.
That's the good thing. If you went to the pantry to go get some flour for pancakes and you saw a bottle of slow gin, I challenge you not to take a swig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
True.
it's
And it's
so
very
going.
Christmassy drink.
And we've all tried to make it as well. It's hideous to make. Like it's really difficult to make.
Do you think so? Well, you didn't.
Yeah.
You
I
just
don't
put
know.
slow.
It's just
I
sugar
don't
and slow
know.
gin.
Yeah,
You
but
just
it
put
takes
slow
ages,
gin.
doesn't it?
Yeah, but you just
That's not hard. You don't have to watch
No, because
it.
I'm just like looking at
to sit there and
the
watch
kilner
it.
jar, going, "What's it doing? Like,
You just
why
leave
isn't
it
it
on the
ready?
shelf for a year.
It's never ready. It's never ready." Okay, so we've got now a vodka martini. So Sam, take us through the significance of a martini.
The
Oh my
significance
God,
of it.
do you want a second?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. No, martinis for me, pre-dinner. If you go pre-dinner, just try this at least once.
Right.
Pre-dinner. If you're invited out for 7:30, go out 5 o'clock.
No, we've done this
Go out
before.
5
That's why we're
o'clock.
laughing.
Yeah.
Go out 5 o'clock
Yeah.
and try to go for 2 to 3 martinis
Yeah.
before dinner. You'll be fucking flying and you'll
Yeah.
feel great. It'll change your whole experience.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you can't have more than 3, really.
You can. I think you
Oh my
can.
God.
It
Oh,
depends.
that's delicious.
That is delicious. But you know what? I had a dirty martini thinking, because I haven't had one in years, and I ordered a dirty martini about 2 weeks ago.
Or even last weekend.
Disgusting.
Well, that's
Oh.
your problem. You got to go with a twist.
Yes.
You've got to
Yeah.
go with a
Oh, no,
twist.
no,
You
But I
can't be
just
doing
love
dirty
olives.
martinis.
But it
But
was
I do-
gross.
No, but it's
It was
because
just
it's the
like
brine.
drinking
It's the
salt.
brine, isn't it?
That's gross.
Yeah.
I've
It was gross.
never done dirty
I'm just going to
martinis.
get
I'm always with a twist.
a martini with a twist
Mhm.
and chuck an olive in the top. No brine.
That's,
Yeah,
well, that's
brine
both.
is intense.
No, I don't. No.
That's both.
They were pouring.
Can't
Yeah, I
do
know.
both.
Put
I just
brine
want an
and a
olive on the
twist.
side of my martini.
But you
Crying
could,
out loud.
you could
Why
have
can't a
that.
girl
You could
have an
totally
olive?
But then, or you can have a pickled onion and make it a Gibson, which I love. That's really, really nice. And then you have like, anyway.
Right.
So what? So you have these. Okay, so you have this as like
2
a
or
Prinks
3,
thing. So
beginning
2 or
of the
3.
night.
2 or 3, you want to be walking in to sit down for dinner,
Yeah.
feeling like you're wrapped in cotton wool. Like
Yeah.
you hear like 1 in every 8 words. You know, that's when you want to be sitting down like that. You know.
If you're hearing 2 in 8, then
Yeah.
you've done something
Take
wrong.
another one. Have another
Yeah,
one.
have
Yeah,
another
exactly.
one.
So vodka or gin?
Vodka or gin
Vodka.
in a
Vodka
martini.
all day.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that can be another teaser, like vodka or gin. Okay, next.
Yep.
I know.
What's this?
But you can edit this. You can
Glenmorangie.
edit this.
How do you open it? Oh, right.
So this is Glenmorangie. Next one.
Bob,
Yeah.
you've got quite a
You
You've
okay?
never told me your story behind this, but do you not want to?
What?
Do you not want to talk about it?
No, I can't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Just the story behind Glenmorangie.
No, it's Glenmorangie. Well, they call it Glenmorangie
In America.
In America. So Harrison Ford is. I was sent this. Are you talking about the thing I was sent?
No, you talk about the thing where.
No.
Can you just show us on the
No.
doll where he touched you? What about that?
Where's the doll?
Yeah,
Where's the doll? Because you were
just
using it
point on the
before.
doll. You point on the doll where he touched you after the Glenmorangie.
Let me have this first. I'll point to you on the shot glass.
I was doing it. I was doing it for the.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you were like because you
No.
had a story
Just so that
attached to
even
this.
you have.
Oh shit! Right.
Okay.
Oh, you're not rolling.
Anyway, yeah, we are.
Oh.
But anyway, you have. Oh, do you not want to say about?
I don't. No, I don't really want to talk about that. To be honest.
You look like you're not enjoying that, if I'm honest.
No, I like it on the rocks. I like it. If I'm honest. Although it was so apparent that I was enjoying. But I love Glenmorangie.
I thought you were
Harrison Ford sent me this.
I thought you were having a seizure for a second. I was like,
know.
face, arm. You know, I did all the.
You're like, are you?
face.
Yeah. But
Well-
this. What? But I know you said space side because that's got a significance, which we'll get to in a minute. Stop trying to force it. But so this was sent to me by Harrison Ford, or his people, or some PR agency. But he's done something with this, and it's space side adjacent. So it's Highlands. Yeah. But it's got like that space side kind of fruity freshness, you know, which is probably why you like that style.
Yeah, I do. I think I just like it nice and clean, and then anything aged as well where it gets a little bit sweeter.
Because I know that you love a good whiskey, time to bring out the Bushmills, 25 or 30. Which one would you like to try?
Well, don't give me the choice. You know what I'm going to go
30.
for. Of course I would. If
Yeah,
you're going to give me the
No, I
choice.
want to go for the younger one.
I think this is about something like £2,000 a bottle, isn't it? It was something like a sip.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow, how
Just
exciting.
give a tiny, tiny bit.
No, it's not £2,000 for this bottle, obviously. Yeah, so sip this
So
maybe.
we were given this at a. Oh,
How's that?
buttery,
Yeah,
toffee,
I love it.
caramel.
Exactly. It is just like eating a big caramel.
Oh, I love this. Right.
Oh, yeah?
It's funny because you know in
How's
movies
that?
where they take scotch and they just knock it back. That I love Glenmorangie, but something like this which is really
That's so
smooth
good.
and aged, I could definitely do it with.
Oh, my.
I could do that. I could just
Yeah.
drink it on the tube, you know. Just
Oh, that is so
how
nice.
nice would that be?
That's so good. Right. The next is brandy. So we've got XO brandy. Okay, we're going to be.
While Rob's pouring out the XO brandy,
What are those?
it's tradition to have some fish skin.
Okay. Well, I don't know yet. I don't think I've tried a fish skin.
Fish skin
Are we having this every episode now?
egg crisp.
That looks so Chinese. Have we scanned it for like microchips and listening things?
It's weird because it
Are
is.
you listening to me, China?
Do you like
Oh,
fish?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And
God,
fish
how'd
skin.
get out
This
of
is
here?
really fishy.
Yeah,
It's like a
massive.
pork crackling. But
It's like a fishy crackling.
I
Fishy
love that.
scratching.
Scratching, not pork crackling.
What do you think?
Do you know what? I actually really enjoy it, but I feel like I've accidentally picked up one of my dog's treats. You know what I mean? Have you ever done that in your pocket? You've eaten the wrong one.
Rob and I really like these, and every
I,
guest has been saying, I feel
I do
like
like
I've picked up a pork scratching that's gone off. I feel like I've
Oh.
picked up
Can we do this one? They
yeah.
are so. And what's the salted eggness about that?
Well, that's the egg on the outside of the fish skin. So it's crispy. It's been deep fried, I guess, with salt.
So I think this started off as a joke. Adam, Clara's husband, for the last episode, when Clara went, "Can you get some snacks for the show?" And he came.
And he went down to the
back
Asian
with
supermarket below his office in Waterloo and came back with fish skins.
That's bizarre.
So,
That's really weird.
Well,
but
there you go.
actually, we love them.
The start of something new, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, let's have this then. San Remy? No?
Okay.
Saint Remy?
Yeah, San Remy.
San Remy?
Right, shall we? Oh, we did at the end. Right. Okay, so we're on to brandy. What's the significance of brandy in your world?
I've started getting into brandies. A good friend of mine who I like playing backgammon with just loves his cognacs, his brandies, and we get stuck into them every time, and I get fairly hoondogged on it actually.
Yeah.
But I think you can drink a medium respectable brandy that will taste better than a high-end whiskey. Not super luxe-end whiskey, but better than.
So hang on.
And
So
that for me, it's a value thing.
But
It's a
are you
value
saying
thing.
what I think you're saying? That.
What are you saying?
What are you saying? What
I'm not-
are you actually saying?
What are you
I'm saying I think that some top-end whiskies are overpriced. It's a little bit of a con, and that some brandies that are way underpriced and way undervalued.
Wow.
Yeah, I think if you were
Okay.
to get into,
I think you heard it here first.
Well, picture this. Take a run of the mill. Take a run of the mill.
I think how you should put that is, you know what the biggest con for overpriced whiskies is?
Well,
Overpriced whiskey. Go on, say that.
yeah, it's correct. Yeah, supply and
Go on.
demand. No, I'm not going to say it. No, I can't. I'm going to get done, aren't I?
No,
Well,
just
everyone's
say it.
gonna
Just say
unsubscribe
it.
off my platform.
No, it's just for the
Just for
teaser.
shits and gigs.
It's just for the teaser.
yeah.
You just go,
Yeah,
you
well,
know
it
what
is.
the
What the-
biggest con of
Well,
overpriced
The
whiskey
biggest con of overpriced whiskey is.
What?
And then I won't tell you
What?
that. No, I'm not going to tell you
No,
the
then
answer.
that's
I can't
it.
tell you the
That's
answer.
it. That's what he's
Well,
been
let's have
saying.
this
Right,
first,
let's
and
have
then you
this.
tell us. Yeah, let's have this.
Mm. Mm.
Mhm.
Now tell me that isn't great.
Sorry, that's my phone.
Is
But
that not
apparently
better than
brandy.
if I line that up against a famous grouse or something like that?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not
Or even a drink.
8-10 times better. Am I right?
Or even a drink.
Do you know what I think?
But I would say, oh yeah, but it's so funny how French brandy, it's usually cognac. Why have they said French brandy? That's bizarre, isn't it?
I was
probably,
Isn't it?
probably some
Isn't that
process
so
they
weird?
haven't done.
They haven't done.
Yeah, well, there's usually like a really distinctive process.
Thank you so much to our guest, Sam Showering. Yeah! That was brilliant. He gave away so many trade secrets. I
And-
hope you realise.
And he knew too much about everything that we didn't know about, but at least it gave us some knowledge. But
I hope he's going to be okay. Like, no one's going to take him out for giving us that information. You know what I mean?
If I go missing, you know
Oh
why.
my God, he
yeah,
might do.
we know why.
Yeah, we know
but
where
the
the bears
first 5 I was all right with, and those brandies and whiskies,
Yeah.
I've seen better days. Anyway,
Or we have.
we have.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to seeing you next month
time.
on
Shoot Your Shot!
See you next time. No, wait. We haven't done the breathalyzer yet.
Yeah, I know.
We got kicked out of the last
Not in a
place.
bad way. Like, not because of
How's
that.
it ever in a good way?
No, but
Anyway,
not because you're a pit.
No, not because of that. They had an event on. Anyway,
Yeah.
we've got to do the breathalyzer with Sam,
Yes.
Bob, and
Yeah.
I. We've got this, we've got the leaderboard.
The leaderboard.
Right, go. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing, keep playing.
What am I? Am I like...
1.40.
Lightweight.
Is that the lot?
That's the most
No, but
ever been.
I just had that. I
It-
literally
It
just had
doesn't
that.
matter.
No, it does.
No, it
I
doesn't.
just had a drink. Literally come off just having a drink.
Right, come on, write your score down.
Okay. 129.
You're less pissed than him.
Wow.
You're less pissed than me.
Yeah,
I
but
had a
it's
big,
still quite
yeah, but it's
high,
still
isn't
high.
it? Go. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing.
Oh my god.
0.98.
9.8. Oh, it's still high though.
Yeah,
Still high.
still high. But
high.
you know what though? The drinks that we had towards the end, we've been having with other people, we've been having like Aperol spritz. You know, we haven't
yeah.
had whiskey, then brandy, then
No, we had-
another whiskey,
You had a
a
martini, a slow gin, and
a
a
whiskey, and then a
cognac,
whiskey
and then a cognac,
Bushmills,
and then a whiskey
Bushmills,
Bushmills.
and
A
then
cognac, and then a whiskey
then a
Bushmills. So
cognac.
5 shots of 5 shots.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Considering how much we had towards the end. And actually,
That's
we
an
felt more
impressive
pissed
difference.
with these girls. Anyway, that
Interesting.
is that.